Oh my gosh, so we are doing this thing.
Finally.
I know.
Gosh, this took literally forever. We got an intro down. Man, we got
We recorded jingles. We've been doing stretches, yoga classes.
We got drops going on. We're not even going to use them.
We have more episodes recorded that we're going to use for a blooper. We actually might have to start a podcast that's just bloopers for Almost Bear Podcast.
Because finally we get this one episode down and all is well, right?
Seriously.
So this is how it goes, right? Is this thing on?
Yep.
That's how it goes?
Whoa. Yeah, because we're such noobs here.
Your walls are all plastered up with soundproof thingy-mabobs. What are they called again?
We're going to call them thingamabobs. So I've got the soundproofing in here, but oh my God, remember when we put these up, John? We bought these like soundproofing little foam things, and there's totally a name for them. And
soundproof things.
There we go. And the back of them had these little stickers that you would peel off and put on and what have you. So we sat here and pulled off the backs of all of these little tiny squares, and we put like 7,000 squares on the back of them, right? I leave for one night. I come home.
And they're all on the ground,
and all of them were on the ground.
Oh, no.
And I thought I was going to die. I was so mad. I texted him. I'm like, motherfucker.
Yep.
So...
Gorilla tape, y'all. Gorilla tape.
Gorilla tape is the name of the game when you're hanging up foam. And I literally, just in case I end up going into some kind of a straitjacket at some point during this episode, we know how to like put a foam room together.
Yes. So our room is set up. This podcast is not.
Yeah.
But hey.
Yeah. But we're here and we're going to do this thing. So, I don't know. Let's hear this intro.
All right.
This is your Almost There podcast. So here we are. Goals for today.
Yeah, so who we are, what we're about, our broken sexual culture and ethics. We're just going to get right to it. What this podcast is about.
Well, for starters, the podcast is about sex, love, and health, and wellness that circles itself around that. And of course, there's so many legs to stand on in relation to sex. I mean, my God, we have so much to talk about. Two different perspectives. Some of them are religious. Some of them are age. Some of them are experience. Some of them are none of the above, but we juxtapose. You say the word.
You just hit your mic, didn't you?
I did.
Dang, podcasting 101. Don't hit your mic.
Yeah, I use my hands.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Hands to talk? Got it. Okay. Making sure we're on the same page. Okay. You were saying?
I was saying that our personalities are really good with each other because we both just feed each other with the most unbelievable amount of horse shit on a day-to-day basis that everybody else has to hear it.
Yeah, well, I would also compare us to being kind of a Ren and Stimpy cartoon kind of thing going on in a good way. Are you looking up what Ren and Stimpy is? Because if you are, I'm going to be very upset.
What's funny is no.
Okay, because I was going to say, we should all know what Ren and Stimpy is, 90s cartoon.
You weren't born yet.
I was, 92. Come on now.
You were born in 1992?
1992, 26 years old, for those who do the English on that.
I did know that you were 26, but to me, you don't seem like you're 26. To me, you seem like you're like my little old soul. I'm like my little buddy. I don't think of you as 26.
Oh, okay.
But do you think of me as 40, almost 41?
No, definitely not. Probably like a 32-year-old maybe.
Ooh, I love you.
I'm not supposed to guess women's age. It's not in a man's thing to do, I think. That's a rule, isn't it? Or no?
I don't give a shit.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't care. Enough. What I love about people that call me ma'am, and I don't understand that.
I got called sir the other day.
Well, I think that's interesting, and I'm actually going to segue into sex from that.
Okay.
Because from a woman's perspective, getting called ma'am is 100% different than being called sir, at least from my point of view. And the reason I think that is because a ma'am to me is old and kind of withered and not sexy and sassy. So for me, but what are they supposed to call me? Hey, lady. I guess I kind of would rather have lady.
I use what do I usually use? I use I don't really say ma'am. I honestly tend to agree with you. I think that's a little bit old fashioned.
Yeah.
Not in a good way. In the bad way where it's like, excuse me, ma'am. I never say that. Or I
almost kind of feel like it's rude.
Yeah, I say like, excuse me. Like I treat you like a person. I don't say like, now with men, you know what's funny? I say, what's up, dude? Or hey, sir. Sure. It depends who it is. Again, if they look a day over 29, it's probably going to be sir. It's weird. But if it's my kind of bracket, like it's weird. It's weird profiling. Point is, I guess I profile how I call a guy. What's up, dude? Hey, man. Hey, I don't say bra or bro. That culture is weird for people that say bro and bruh. I'll say it on a text message, but I'll never say it. What up, bruh? You
just did. Oh my God. So talking about bros and hoes, we're gonna just hop right on into it. This is your Almost Bare podcast, where we uncover everything between the sheets: sex, love, health, and all the dirty secrets in between. I am Lyndsay Soprano, and this is the world famous Jon Ramirez. See, I just made you famous in 2 seconds.
I thought you were going to say the famous Almost Bare podcast. I was like, whoa, that's...
episode 1 done. Retire right now.
We just did a podcast thing. So kind of what I mentioned earlier, just I guess this episode's just kind of getting who we are, what this podcast is about. For me personally, it's taken a while to get comfortable, and I'm still at times, even as I'm speaking in this moment, still uncomfortable doing this podcast, because sex is a huge thing in my own life. And I'm not saying, when I say that, I'm not saying like I have tons of it, because I really don't. It's just uncomfortable. Sex in our culture, in our world, is just uncomfortable. There's some uncomfortableness about it. And if you don't agree with me, you probably deep down somewhere, someone that is uncomfortable when you mention it to them. You could be on the other side. Lyndsay, you talk about, not in a bad way, or not like you talk about sex 24/7, but you're very open about your sexuality. With my own self, I am very closed off at times. Like, ooh, am I okay to talk about that? Why should we be talking about that? So I think that's a little bit what this podcast is about. Why I joined in was because, you know what? I'm representing those who are out there, in a sense, my own self, but also partaking in, we got to be okay with the uncomfortable of sex in our culture. Whatever that may mean, whether it's, like today will be about culture, sexual culture and ethics, but tomorrow may be something else, HIV or something else. I just thought of HIV. But point is, I guess I represent the uncomfortableness of it all.
Because that's what everybody does, is just randomly think about HIV.
Yeah, just,
just pull that shit out of your ass right there.
Yep.
And I can, from a sexual culture perspective, it is broken. We've talked about that, the uncomfortability of you joining this little show of ours here. One of the reasons that I wanted to start our podcast, I have lived a very sexually indulgent life. And you can categorize that by making out with everybody I can put my mouth on, to sexual intercourse, to toys, to lesbianism, to whatever it is. There are so many things that I've kind of touched on, whether it's reading about it, thinking about it, talking about it, or doing it. I was raised in a household where that wasn't necessarily, it was extremely taboo for me to speak about sex. I didn't ask any questions about it. I didn't learn anything about it in school. I went to a private Christian school, and I'm pretty sure that school in Orange County, California, pushed out probably more sluts than any other school on the planet, maybe Catholic girls' schools, maybe. And we can touch on Catholicism with our in-house Catholic, Mr. John. That will come up as a topic: religion and politics and law, and what we're comfortable talking with and what we're not, and pushing the envelope to speak about things that make us uncomfortable because other people are going to be uncomfortable. But maybe if we can just elevate that and make it not so scary to talk about it, then we can take this broken sexual culture and give it a little bit less brokenness.
Agreed. Yeah, and I just touching on what you said. I don't know if I shared completely. You kind of shared, your own sexuality in a sense. Mine, it's completely opposite. I wasn't part of the party group. I didn't have sex until I was 19, and that's was I 19? Was I? Hold on. I think I was 20. 20. Yeah, 20. And, for a lot of us, I'd be like, oh, that was my age. Or, oh, that's not too old. That's young, John. You were still, yeah, but that was my only sexual partner. I didn't have anything else besides her. I never went out and partied. I never sought for sex. I craved it. And we'll get into that later. The cravings of sex. I craved it. I want it to be affirmed by women. I want it to have a bunch of sex deep down as a man. I want it to have it. And yet some part of me, I didn't want to. And a lot of it was my religion. I'm Catholic. Lyndsay, you just said that I'm a very much practicing Catholic. Sunday Mass, every Sunday. Confession at least once every other week. Whether it's me or with my fiance, so religion's a huge, I was going to say big, but it's a huge part of my life. It's a part of me. And, just religion, not so much the political side of it. I want to say, being honest, fuck the politics of church and all that stuff. I'm being honest by saying that. I'd rather just focus on the religion aspect of it, the way of life that Catholicism has taught me. And, that's where I'm at, where with my own sexuality is sometimes the church's teaching on sexuality has really put, should I find the right wording here, has really, I wouldn't say harmed, but has put an uncomfortableness, again, that word keeps coming up and I'm having a hard time saying it, uncomfortableness in my own.
It's uncomfortable listening to it as well.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. It's very uncomfortable talking about sex because of my religion. And, and that's why I'm here now, because I feel at times it's hard to talk about it, even though it's my Catholic friends, hey, let's talk about this. Oh, that's a sin. Why is it a sin? Why is it a sin to talk about sex? And this is what comes around in my own friend group. And whether you want to replace sin with, oh, it's bad, hey, let's not talk about that. Whatever you want to replace that, I know it pertains to somebody's life where it's like, I don't want to talk about sex. It's true. I don't want to talk about it. And yet it's like, wait, we're all on the same page. We're all going to, most of us, if not all of us, are all going to partake in it. Why do we have such a hard time talking about it? Why is it banned in movies? A lot of them, like, why well, not banned, but why is like showing of the parts banned in movies? Why all of a sudden is romantic scenes in almost in every single movie, whether it's in a child's movie rated G, PG, PG-13, rated R, sex is in it, love is in it. Romanticism is in it. Why? Because it's a huge part of our culture.
Are you kidding me? It is our culture.
It is our culture. And if we ignore it, then we're doing a disservice to our own self and to the rest of, in my opinion, the rest of our culture. I
agree. And I am not going to be bringing children into this world. Okay, I'm 40. God knows I'm going to have sex between now.
Be patient. It could happen.
Be patient, dear Lord.
Well, true.
Well, I've gone through.
I thought you were 32.
Oh, that's true, boo. No, sex for me, as a little girl, got completely fucked up at a very young age, and we're gonna touch that. Ooh. Touch it.
Yeah. Okay.
Touch it.
I get it. Mm-hmm. I think we all get it, Lyndsay. Touch it.
Touch it. You can swipe me right and swipe me left.
That's a Tinder reference for all those who haven't used it.
Oh my God.
I've only used it once.
Oh, Tinder. That's also a topic. Actually, online dating and apps and safety and sexual assault and consent. The topics go on, and we're not recreating the wheel here. This isn't stuff that people aren't talking about. We're talking about it from our point of views, our relationship with each other, how we feel about each other, how we don't want to touch each other, and that's good. Not in those sandals. Nope. Oh,
we're talking about each other here. Oh, yeah. For those of you who haven't picked up, I have a fiance getting married.
Damn.
Married in Mexico. Doing a little destination wedding for all friends and family.
Yeah, and I'm doing everything I can to get my ass down to wherever the hell it is. Monterey Bay? No. Monterey.
She says it Monterey.
Monterey.
But as our non-Spanish speaking friends, for myself and you, it's Monterey.
Yeah, I am really, really white. And that's okay.
And I'm a white Hispanic.
You are white Hispanic.
Yep.
So when it comes to this culture of ours, there are so many things that for us to talk about. But one of the number one things that I think I am here for is wellness and self-esteem. Even though I like to, every day of my life, I'm here with Jon and we're yapping, and I can talk about how gooey and goopy and sloppy and sexy I want to talk about. The reason that I can talk openly about my sexuality and who I am and my beliefs are, it comes